How are you doing today, guys? So we've got a very interesting game for you all today. Something I've been waiting for, so let's watch the startup and then we'll give you my thoughts.
Kapsin. Kapu ja kramtsu krampot. Ja onkra kaptu. Ty ja on.
I'll up nappy. Zuka up.
Jokke.
Ma boo. Ope I. Zo ja zaba I. Da cat. Boo di fat I. You do cat.
Zo di fit. Yo get ne di fit wa. The get up zo ne go ye.
Cat zoo.
Alright, so that was the intro to the game, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to give you a little rundown on what the game is about, my thoughts on it, and honestly any points that I see that need improvement, and then we'll do final thoughts at the end. If you take the time out of your schedule to watch this video, consider going down to the comment section and giving me any kind of criticism or advice that you can give in this. I'm still learning and building up a process. I'm working on a template on what to do and how to do it. But let's get into it, shall we? So the game's name is Noble Fates, and I'd put it on a similar pace to RimWorld and Banished. Very similar style games, very difficult to get going with some nice little RPG elements involved in it. So far I've played about 8 to 12 hours, and I've been absolutely adoring the gameplay. And the developers seem very serious about keeping up with the game, because in the last 2 days that I've logged this, there's been 2 lots of updates that have actually changed the gameplay. So if you're interested in this style game, this one does look like it's going to be updated regularly and has so much content that is just, well, it's just the right kind of game for me. So I think I'm going to start with the cons, because there's not that many, and given the fact that the game is in early access, there's a good chance that these bugs and issues can be worked out. So I'd have to say my first issue with the game, the first major problem, is the music is very repetitive. But honestly, that's very easily fixed. I turned the music off after the initial gameplay I recorded, threw on my music in the background, but left the actual game sounds and everything in, and it worked perfect. The only other things I can say is a couple of the instances on what you can do and what you can learn in the game as a character. It's hard to tell what's available. It's not really well shown. So any way to be able to look at what is and isn't possible to learn as each player in the game would be nice. Something to easily access so you can go through and go, okay, this character can learn this. But honestly, those are the only 2 negatives I have so far. Maybe you get raided a little bit too often by the enemy villagers as well. That's a little bit frustrating, but that's all personal preference. The RPG elements in the game are super solid. I like the fact that they threw them in there. It's not game-changing stuff, but it's enough to make you feel like you're adding to the characters as a whole and helping to design the village. Honestly, all in all, I'd have to say this is a top-notch game. I'm not a biased reviewer here. This is my kind of game, and I absolutely adored it. The footage in the background gives a little example of each piece of the content as you go through, so if you're interested, and if you'd like to see more of the game, maybe come follow me over on Twitch, madrush35. But I gotta wrap this up, so let's go. I'd say an 8 out of 10. You know, there's no story involved in this, but the gameplay is solid. It's still early access and developing, and honestly, I haven't had more fun in a game in a long time. So, without further ado, my name's Madrush. This here's the Madhouse, and you guys are fucking awesome. I hope you have a wonderful morning, evening, or night, whatever the case may be. But I'll see you all in the next one.